Okay, so the Olympics 2024 are almost behind us, and like every tournament, we've had pain, glory, and controversy. But I'm not going to get into any of that in this video. Instead, I'm reacting to what I think are the best images from the Olympics. Stick around until the end because I'll be sharing my favorite photo from the Olympics. And also, if you are enjoying the content, please do subscribe, hit a like, and let's get looking at some images. Okay, so first up, we have a photograph from Bradley Canaris, published through Getty Images. I love this photograph. First and foremost, what drew me to this one is the S shape that's been made with the athlete's body, and then I guess that's water coming out kind of at the top of her head. And if you see, there's an S curve, and I just think that's perfect timing. And it's really what drew me into it. I love that it's in black and white, and I also love that it's very subtle, but there is some motion blur here. You can see in the feed that it's not quite sharp, but that works because there's obviously motion and movement going on in this sport. Okay, so this photograph is by Damien Mayer. It was published by AFP via Getty Images, and I love the story in this image, and I love the colors. I mean, where to begin? I love the colors. Okay, we'll start with that. We've got the blues, the greens, the reds, and it's just popping, just really popping. But then that's just the start of it. If we look at the story that's being told here, you've got the China's, I guess is it hockey that they're playing? Field hockey. The China's women's team are obviously basking in all their glory, and they're all coming together and they're united after victory. And then you've got, obviously, in defeat, I think it's Australia, could be wrong, it is Australia. The Australian women, they're separated, they're grieving in their own space, and it just tells the perfect story of what the Olympics is all about. It can have some absolute highs if you're on the winning team, and just some real painful lows. And I just think this image just really just gives a great overview of what Olympic sport is all about. So wonderful work from Damien here. Okay, so this next image is from Pascal Le Sagretten. Pascal Le Sagretten, we'll go with that. I hope I'm right, via Getty Images. And it's awesome, really. I mean, first and foremost, you've got the iconic Olympic rings in the foreground, and then you've got the cyclists. This is the Australian men's team. The cyclists are, positioned perfectly within the shot, and then you've got kind of this blurry at the top of the image, this blurry purple kind of feels like a world outside of the real world. And because of the fast pace, there's obviously a lot of motion blur. You kind of feel like you're experiencing the view of what the bikers will see, because I imagine everything's going so quick for them. It's going so quick, and everything just feels like a fast blur while they aim to qualify for the next round. And I just think this image just speaks to what is going on from the perspective of the subjects, and I just love that. It's such a well-balanced image, and yeah, I can't stop looking at this image, so I best move on. So this one is from Albert Heyer via Reuters. Now, I appreciate some people may think, compared to the images that came before it, that this is a little bit more subtle. There's not necessarily high-level technique being used in the image, but there's storytelling, and for me, I'm always going to be attracted to storytelling. And for example, you've got three runners. The one at the front, who looks like she's won, is from Germany, and she gets gold medal. And look, we know there's gold, silver, bronze, but let's be honest, it's the gold medal that everyone's going for. And I just love how the winner of the race is the one that's just running into the light. The spotlight's on her. It's all about her. And the other two runners, Potter from Great Britain and Nib from the USA, they're fading away into darkness. And that's not me taking away anything from their achievements. Well done for for finishing second and third respectively, but it's that gold medal people are after, and I just think this image just captures that perfectly. Running into the light, she's gone for gold. The light's kind of golden as well. It's that kind of sunshine that's just perfectly sits on the subject. And I think it's an excellent frame by Alba Hayes. So excellent work there. So this one is from Kai Pfaffenbach. Via Reuters again. And look, why do I love this image? So to me, it looks like there's been a multiple exposure here. I'm not going to say it's a freak accident. I'm going to say this is intentional and give the photographer the benefit of the doubt. And think about that. I mean, to start getting all creative with multiple exposures, that takes some guts. You're doing a high level job. The Olympics is a very, very high level gig, and you could play it safe and just take some standard action shots. But here he's decided he wants to get creative with his frame, and I think he's just done an excellent job of it. I like that the tennis ball isn't in frame. I don't know why. I just think it makes it more mysterious, and I like kind of how he's serving into the crowd. Of course, that's not what's really happening, and he's in this full energy burst, and the crowd are all watching in anticipation, and that's all been blended together. And I just think it makes for a really captivating image. So excellent work by Kai here. So this one's by Dylan Martinez, and it is of the second heat of the men's 5,000 meter race. Okay. And why do I love this image? I mean, look, there's action, but there's also a story. If we start at the top end, the guy right at the back, you can tell in his face, he's kind of resigned to the fact he's not going to finish anywhere near the front, but he's still going for it. Then the guy at the front of the image, he's still got something to fight for, and he's still pushing as hard as he can push. And then the Australian guy being an Australian guy, and then of course the main event, the unfortunate runner who has fallen on the floor, and it's over for him, and you can see it in his face. And the photographer's just captured the perfect moment, as the saying goes, it's about the decisive moment. And this is certainly, no doubt, the decisive moment. And I just, on top of that, I love the vibrancy, the reds, the blues, and all the other popping colours that just make this a wonderful image by Dylan Martinez. So this next image is by Alina Smutko, and it's via Reuters again. It is of a female Chinese athlete who is competing in the women's javelin qualification rounds. And what I really like about this is just where the subject is positioned. I mean, I love images that are kind of a little bit off what we traditionally see. It's very rare you'll see the main event of an image positioned right in the bottom corner of the frame, and this just really works here. And what I also like is, I guess those are a kind of, I don't know what they are, but going straight down the lines, are they the javelin poles and sticks that have been fixed in the ground, and that gives kind of a vertical perspective. And then in the background, you've kind of got this wavy, circly blend of color and blur, and it's just, and of course the subject is perfectly in focus, perfectly in concentration. And again, I just think it speaks to probably what's going on within. It's a very, I imagine, an out-of-body experience competing in such high-level stakes. And, maybe the body and the mind are all over the place, but you have to position yourself and balance yourself and structure yourself and focus so you can do what you have been training to do for all that time. And I just, yeah, it kind of goes against the rules of photography. I love that, and I just think it sticks out from your traditional kind of sports action shots. So excellent work here by Alina. She's done a wonderful job with this photograph. Okay, so this next one is a photograph by Augustin Marican via Reuters, and it's an image of the 100 meters men's final. Okay, now look, ideally you'd want the photographer to be perfectly in line with with the finish line. And, that's not been possible in this case. But this image is so iconic. I mean, I believe this was the most closely run 100 meters final, men's final in the history of the sport. And you just look at it. I mean, it could have been one of 4 finalists, and it's such fine margins. Even the guy in the background with the headset is kind of looking on like, I have no idea who's won this one. And for that, this image is going to stand the test of time. It's going to be iconic. It's going to be circulated for many years to come. And it's always going to be remembered as such an important moment in Olympic history, just for how close it was. And congratulations to Noah Lyles, who was eventually the one to get over the finish line first before anyone else. So, yeah, I just love this image. It's so iconic to me. Okay, so this next one is, look, if I ever see an image with the Olympic rings in, I'm already kind of captivated by it. It's a photo by Ezra Shaw via Getty Images, and it's of the skateboarder Andrew McDonald. Now, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but this is the first time skateboarding has arrived at the Olympics, and I just think this image absolutely captures that. You've got him perfectly framed within the red ring and partially in the green ring, and it just says, hey, we're here. We've arrived. Our sport has been legitimized, at least on the Olympic scale. It's already been popular, on outside competition, but here it is, and I just love it. I just think it's a great image. I love the shallow depth of field in the foreground, and just the iconic rings and the perfect framing. I believe just makes it a wonderful shot. So great work here by Ezra Shaw. Okay. And now we've arrived at what is my favourite image of the Olympics 2024. It's by Francisco Seco via the Associated Press. Where to begin? Okay, first and foremost, we'll deal with the main event. Look, I don't know what's going on here. I know this is some kind of gymnastics. I don't know why there's a red ball floating in the air. But there is. And obviously due to the flexibility of Stilana Nikolova, their head has been able to go completely back as if they're decapitated. And talk about the decisive moment. The red ball is there to replace it as if she's got a red ball on her head. It's great timing on the photographer's part. And then, of course, you've got the arms spread out, the form that she's displaying, the blurred background, the sharp, in focus, strong body, which is just, it's a wonderful shot. I love this shot. It just, when I first saw it, I was like, wow, this is great. And yeah, so great work by Francisco Seca. It's a wonderful shot, and I think it's a great way to end this wonderful selection, I believe, of great images from the Olympic Games in 2024. But they're my favourite images from the Olympics. I'm actually interested to know what your favourites are. Let me know down in the comments, link to the photographer and the name of the image, and I'll go check it out myself. Also, let me know how you felt about the Olympics overall. Have you enjoyed it? Again, let me know down in the comments. And of course, if you enjoy the content, please do subscribe, hit a like, and tap the bell icon so YouTube notifies you when I next publish. Until the next one, I'm Dan. This is M Frames. See ya.